Hello friends! Thailand is an amazingly picturesque country which is distinguished by especially diverse flora and fauna. The national symbol and sacred animal of the country is the elephant. This noble and beautiful creature is used in agriculture as well as to entertain tourists. According to official information, about 3,000 elephants live in this country. A big part of the population is domesticated, while the other part lives in the forests or reserves of the country. And in today's episode, I will tell you an incredible story that no one would have believed if it hadn't been caught on camera. This story began back in 2009, when a sick elephant was found in the forest in the east of Thailand. That summer, a group of people saw an elephant roaming around the forest. The locals immediately realized that something was wrong with the animal. He was walking aimlessly and seemed very weak. After observing the elephant for a bit, they decided to seek help. The locals contacted the Department of National Park, Wildlife, and Plant Conservation. This organization specializes in saving wild animals. When the department employees arrived, they saw that the elephant was on the brink of death. He was running a fever, had swelling on his face, neck, and stomach. Apparently, the poor creature was barely hanging on to life. The animal also had irritated eyes and leg cramps. People realized that they needed to act quickly, or the elephant would have little chance of recovery. A famous and respected veterinarian was asked to help. Dr. Pattarapol Manion quickly arrived at the scene and decided that he couldn't help the animal in the forest. Therefore, they decided to transport the animal, whom they named Plai Thong, to the territory of the Forest Industry Organization. With great difficulty and at great cost, they brought the animal weighing several tons to the province of Lampang for treatment and rehabilitation. Elephants may seem harmless and good-natured, but they can be very dangerous to humans. Both their weight and their tusks pose great danger. According to the veterinarian, the animal was rather aggressive towards him at first, but mostly because he was very weak and exhausted. The elephant knew that he was vulnerable and wouldn't be able to fight off the enemy, and had no way of knowing what the man's true intentions were. However, Plai Thong became calm and cooperative when he no longer felt threatened by the veterinarian. Plai Thong's disease proved to be a real challenge for even the experienced veterinarian. The elephant was suffering from trypanosomiasis, a parasitic condition also known as sleeping sickness, which is fatal in most cases. This infectious disease is mainly transmitted by tsetse flies and is also dangerous for humans. Given the elephant's poor condition, his treatment took several months, but Dr. Pattarapol stayed by the animal's side throughout the treatment. After a long time full of hopes and fears, the veterinarian and his team finally managed to stabilize the animal's condition. The elephant was out of danger and on the mend. The team took great care of him. People played with him and made sure he always had something to do and never got bored. A few months later, the disease was finally defeated and the huge animal got his strength back. When Plai Thong was ready, the team released him back into the wild. Although they fell in love with this kind animal, they realized that it was in his best interest. Nevertheless, people couldn't help but shed a tear when the animal disappeared into the dense forests of Thailand. Years passed, and Plai Thong's rescue was almost forgotten. But then, something happened that few people would have believed if it hadn't been filmed. 12 years later, Dr. Pattarapol found himself in the same area where the unfortunate elephant was once found. He was patrolling the territory in search of sick animals when he suddenly heard the familiar call. "I remember the sound very well," said Dr. Pattarapol in an interview. "Plai Thong's noise is very unique." Some of you might not know this, but each elephant makes a different unique sound. The veterinarian realized that the animal was very close by, but he couldn't even have imagined what happened next. At first, the elephant simply continued to eat the grass in the presence of the veterinarian. The animal seemed unimpressed by the man. But then, something truly incredible happened. The elephant reached out his trunk to touch the man. The veterinarian was excited. He extended his hand towards the elephant and gently touched his trunk. Many years have passed since their last meeting, but the animal hasn't forgotten the veterinarian. Plythong greeted the man by touching his hand. It was a heartwarming gesture of gratitude. As Dr. Patadopoulos says, it was an amazing and very personal moment. It is for moments like these that the veterinarian chose his profession. It's safe to say that Plythong remembered the man who saved him and was still grateful for it. Elephants are one of the most intelligent animals in the world and have an excellent long-term memory. And this story is great proof of this fact. That's all for today, friends. What do you think? Are elephants actually smart? And did Plythong recognize the veterinarian? Or was it just a regular reaction of an elephant to a person? Share your thoughts in the comments. Hit the like button if you enjoyed this video, and please don't forget to share it with your friends. We'll see you next time.